Hello everybody, my name is Xuul and welcome to the Skyrim Mod Showcase. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the mod Purity for Skyrim. What Purity is an immersive weather, lighting, water, and waterfall mod that also includes some very nice high-quality textures that has a very minimal performance impact. It is by the mod author Last, creator of Pure Waters, Pure Weather, and Pure Waterfalls. And as the name may suggest, this is kind of a combination of those three mods with a lot more into it. It has a very minimal FPS impact and it is absolutely beautiful, but we'll see that in a second. Before we get into the mod itself, I'd just like to mention one thing. This is apparently the mod author's last contribution, which I think is very sad. I've always enjoyed Last's mods. I've had Pure Waters for such a long time, and I've been using Pure Weather for a while as well, and it has been just a fantastic mod. And it's really sad to see the mod author go, but one thing that's not sad is this mod and how wonderful it is, and how we can all enjoy it together and just enjoy the hard work the mod author has put into this mod. So without further ado, let's actually take a look at some scenes here that I've done. I've set up a couple of comparison clips for us to talk about. As per usual in my weather mod spotlights, I have a bunch of comparison clips here for you to see. On the right is the mod, on the left is the vanilla game. Right off the bat, we can see that the lighting in Purity looks a lot better. It looks very similar to Pure Weather's because essentially that's what it is. In this scene in particular, you can see the yellows, the greens pop out a bit more, and the sky is a much more rich blue. In this scene here, we're looking at the water and the weather effects. You can see the fog in Purity is strengthened, and of course the water looks amazing. Pure Waters was always my personal favorite water mod, and it's good to see that translates really well into this scene. It looks so good, and I love the deep, dark, smooth oceans. But that's not the only thing that's changed. The waterfalls have also gotten a makeover in this mod. Each of the waterfalls in Skyrim has been carefully reconstructed to look a lot better. This one, for example, goes from a very plain, boring looking waterfall to this beauty. A statue is added. The way the waterfalls looks a lot more natural. There's extra little rocks for things to go around, and of course the water looks a lot better. This waterfall as well has gotten a big improvement. I like the placement of the rock in the middle there that you can see. It's little touches like this that make the waterfalls look a lot more natural, make the water appear to fall a lot better. I enjoy just kind of wandering around Skyrim and looking at the waterfall, trying to pick out just exactly what was different about them. And when I first installed the mod, I kind of didn't realize. I looked and I was like, what's the difference with this waterfall? It looks good, but I don't know what's changed. And then when I went back to my vanilla footage, I realized there's so much about it that's changed, but I barely even noticed. That's just how well they fit into the world. That's not all, of course there's different lighting changes. I'm of course at the Atronach Stone, which is a favorite scene of mine, and you can see that the lighting has been toned down a little bit. The oranges, the mists are a little bit lighter in this mod. It's a personal take, so it's a lot less fantasy-esque and a lot more realistic. I think this is a good touch. I like things to look a little bit more realistic in the game, although people who prefer very fantasy-based ENBs and lighting mods might be a little bit disappointed in that, but that's why I always do a spotlight here at the Atronach Stone, because it's kind of a mystical place in the vanilla game at least. And then finally, we can take this little comparison here of this valley. It looks absolutely fantastic. So now let's just take a look at some other scenes and just kind of talk about the mod a little bit more. Purity is a mod that is perfect, and it fits my personal mantra that the best mods are mods that you don't notice. When you're playing the game, nothing jumps out at you to say, wow, this is a mod. Everything looks natural, everything looks beautiful. But as soon as you uninstall Purity and look back at the vanilla game, you know exactly what you're missing. You're missing the beautiful water, the wonderful textures of the rocks and the clouds and the sun and the stars. Everything just looks so much more boring And it's that kind of absence when you uninstall a mod that, in my opinion, makes it great. And this is why Purity has currently earned itself a permanent place in my load order. It is just such a good mod, and it has a very little performance impact as well, which is really good for those of you who like to do recording, or for those of you who just have not as good computers. Purity is an absolutely fantastic mod, and it's a shame that the mod author is going to go, but I'm glad we can all enjoy this together. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed making this. I'm a little bit sad here at the end of the episode, but I'm still going to ask you to consider subscribing to my channel, and to please check out some of my other stuff. I have another series on my channel called Xuul's Suggested Software, where I suggest software for you to use. Just trying to be helpful, just trying to be a little bit useful. I also cover mods for Oblivion, for Dragon Age Origins, for KOTOR, all sorts of different games. So you can also check those out as well. And I also do tech videos, you know. But this episode has gone on long enough. I know a lot of people have told me never to say that. They're like, don't say that, it totally calls you out. That's how I imagine you sound, by the way, dear subscriber. I apologize if that's a little bit offensive. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for watching. I am Xuul. I am terrible at outros, and I hope that you have an excellent day.